Closed captioning is brought to you by Insect Defend Patch, deep-free protection from biting insects.
I get a lot of questions on Ask Italo on our website asking me what type of line should be used for what kind of fishing. And people ask me, for example, should I be using a monofilament line for walleye and for bass and pike? And I tell them maybe braids are better if you're using artificial lures or you're fishing a jig and you want to feel bottom. But if you're fishing for fish like trout, especially small trout, and also smaller panfish, or even steelhead with these special drift rods, that's the time to use a monofilament line like this Suffix Elite. This particular one is 6-pound test. It's low diameter, it has the right amount of stretch, and it's also very clear. So if you're going to be fishing, even for steelhead, it's much better to use a monofilament line, or for trout or for panfish, than using a braided line. One of the unique things that you realize when you travel across India is that it's a big country, lots of people, I think 1.5 billion or more, and everything is in harmony. Like, look behind me. We've got calves and cows walking across the road. It's normal to see wagons being pulled by horses, wagons being pulled by camels, dogs dodging traffic all over, monkeys running all over the place, people carrying big wads of, I'm not sure what that is, probably food for the cattle, and they'll probably be feeding on the side of the road. Lots of traffic, and the roads are very narrow. We've been shooting a lot of footage, whether it was up in the mountains or in the south. But one thing I've come to appreciate is that there's a beeping language. Right now it's quiet, but every once in a while you start hearing beeping and then more beeping and everything. And beeping in India can mean all kinds of things. It might mean I'm behind you if you're going to pass a truck. When you're passing it, beep, beep a couple times that you're actually passing it. When you're in front of it, I've passed you safely, it's one beep. You see oncoming cycles, like all these mopeds and small motorbikes, and that's a different kind of a beep. Even the dogs and the animals understand the beep, because you'll have cows in the middle of the road and you'll hear a certain type of beep. So this is amazing. So India is full of lots of noises, very chaotic, but it's in harmony. If you get the opportunity to discover India, it's such a vast country, and every region to travel to is unique and has something special to offer. Right now we're in the community of Taragar, and we're about 7,000 feet in the Himalayan mountains, so we're in northern India. And we're in a region called Himachal Pradesh. And this is very interesting because it looks like we've walked through some shrubbery, but what in fact this is, Sanjay explained to me, this is green tea. And when you look at it, it almost looks like it's been manicured. So Sanjay, tell us a little bit about how they pick it, what they go through, how they grow it, and how we actually get the tea bag or get the tea to put in our teapot.
All right. You see all these shrubs?
Yes.
They have been pruned.
I can see that.
Yeah, they have to be on the same size.
Yeah.
It is a 12-month process.
Wow.
Very labor intensive. Now what they do is they pluck the top 3. You see these 3 triplets?
Yes. Yeah, 2 leaves and one little bud coming out.
And one little bud. The bud has all the flavor. These 2 have the color. They are rolled together. But before rolling, they are washed.
Yes.
They are dried.
Yes.
Then they are rolled. They are roasted. They are sieved to their size.
Yeah.
And the longer the size of the leaf, the better price it fetches. All these bushes which you see are on the side of a hill, slanting downwards. Tea needs a lot of water, but it does not want standing water.
Okay.
So there are channels all around. So it keeps getting water, it keeps getting rain all the time, but the water keeps flowing down, and they keep growing. And they keep cutting it, and 12 months they keep plucking it.
You know, we're here in the Himalayas, northern India, Himachal Pradesh. We're at about 8,000 feet, and we're getting these beautiful trout. I just have another beautiful rainbow that hit a little countdown rapella. You know, the weather up here, because we're in the Himalayas, can be unpredictable. So right now, we're getting a little bit of light rain. kind of reminds me of British Columbia, but I'm actually in sandals and very light clothes. I've got a little bit of a windbreaker on. You know, when we came up here into the mountains, we probably came up another 1,000 or 2,000 feet of altitude. That's why we've got a little bit of rain up here. But look at this gorgeous rainbow. I'm going to try to land it right on my feet. We're using light lines, so we can't really push the fish. The scenery is so beautiful here. Pristine waters. Hold on. I'm going to try to grab the lure. Hopefully he won't shake off. Look at how much energy these fish have. There. Look at that beautiful rainbows right here from northern India. Just an amazing fishery. I've had this fish out of the water, so I'm going to let it revive a little bit unless it flies out of my hand. Boy, look at the colors. Do you see that purpley blue sheen? Such a beautiful fish. There he goes. What a beautiful fish. I mean, look at the scenery. Even in the rain, it's so gorgeous here. You can hear the roar of the rapids. One thing I'm impressed with here in India is that these rivers in the Himalayas have such a high slope. So you can see how fast the land drops down. So it's ideal because there's only so many pools that the fish can hold in. So here, the pools are about maybe 200 meters apart. So you can literally go like steps, fishing one pool, then come back around the pass, go down to another pool. And you could spend hours fishing here. So we've only been fishing for about an hour and a half, and we've got about half a dozen nice fish. And this is what fishing in India is all about. Having fun, beautiful scenery, wonderful places, and delicious food.
Canadian sport fishing, brought to you in part by Suffix, the world's most hardcore fishing line. Yamaha Outboards, reliability starts here. Sail, the outdoors superstore. Lucky Strike, all you need is a Lucky Strike.
Look at how clear this water is. I'm now wearing polarized glasses. It's raining, so we don't have a lot of light, but you can see all the detail on this beautiful brown trout. You can see those big spots. He's got that little rapala just in the tip of the mouth. It's going to lead him in a little bit. You know, the lure is nice to hold. You got to be careful if they thrash, especially if you're practicing live release. So if he's going to jump off, he's going to land in the water. So you can see, look at how magnificent these fish look